Let's just get into this very highly anticipated episode that I think a lot of manga readers was waiting for. I'm Minty.
I'm Annie.
And this is FunUntitled, where we said every podcast with an FU. So this is Bleach 1000-Year Blood War Arc, the 6th episode, The Fire.
Just like fire going into rain, nothing will ever be the same.
What the hell is that from?
A song I made up.
People are not gonna like that. You stole that from someone.
It's okay, I butchered enough lyrics to not get it right.
Let's start with the good things of this episode. I would say of the 6th episode, this one is probably the most visually stunning.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of freelance animators, like kind of what they did in One Punch Man Season 1, where like they hired a bunch of like new animators work specifically on these scenes.
I think the fire was pretty cool. I like the red and blue aesthetic. I thought the beginning of the fight was very action-packed and looked really nice.
As someone who didn't read the manga, when he was like, of course, if there's an east, there's gotta be a west of my bankai. And then Yamamoto delivered with all 4 cardinal directions, and they were all super cool.
The south is my favorite part. The whole skeleton thing and it looking like a hellscape. Like, I just remember reading that and being like, oh my god, this is amazing.
I thought it was so cool that his bankai is so strong, it can change the entire weather and lighting of the Soul Society. Like, you cannot get that shit from the manga.
Oh yeah, if you think about it, they all talked about like how like Yorimaru and the tennis one supposed to be one that affects the weather, but Yamamoto could kill everyone.
Oh yeah, Unohana just being like, my flower is dying. Look at that, Isane. I think that's the assistant's name.
Yeah.
And she's like, ma'am, thousands of people are dying outside. Why aren't we doing anything? Hey, shut up, the man.
She can't do anything. She's a healer.
She can heal people.
She's not gonna get her ass out there.
So I thought the whole 4 directions cool. I thought it was very interesting how you made fire interesting, despite one of them, Sal, not making complete sense. You know, like, Bleach has that number 1 rule. I will allow it if it's cool.
Oh yeah, if any concept is cool enough, you can like forego the logic fallacies. One thing I want to bring up with you is that when we were watching Black Clover and they would hit the ground, they would make cubes. And I said, that's really annoying and ugly. And you said that was actually a good thing for animation studios to do, and that is a sign of a good animation studio. Compare that to Bleach, who does the same thing, but instead of making cubes, is actually making rocks. You're bullshitting me.
Well, I just meant like when you do cubes out of the ground, that's a specific homage to a famous animator. I wasn't saying that like, oh, that's the best way to do the debris. I'm just saying like, if you see the debris, that means people are putting time and effort into that and like making an homage to that guy.
Make an homage to something like Bleach then.
I don't even remember what you're talking about with the rubble. I guess like when the first started, or do you mean when Yamamoto had his matchstick sword?
Yeah, I'm talking more like when he's in the east and he like the tip touches the ground and just like boom. Or even when like Byakuya hit the wall.
Oh.
Like you actually see textures and lines of the rock and they're not just perfect cubes.
Oh yeah, but you know, like when the cube happens, that's only on impact. Meanwhile, with Byakuya and Yamamoto's fight, like that's just complete annihilation. Like you don't see the rocks fall. So yeah, and then like we got to see Aizen for a little bit in this episode. He looked just like Neon Genesis.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, was that a reference?
I don't know. Was that a thing in the manga? That he was just tied to a chair? Like,
yeah,
something about fusing with something?
It's the Hyogoku. That's the thing that was in Rukia's body at the end of the Soul Society arc.
That's the thing that turns people into hollows, right?
Yeah, because its power is that it ended up boiling down to it can grant you a wish, so it could do anything. And I'm like, ooh, heart, what the fuck are you doing?
You need a little genie lamp.
In a sense, except I guess there was nothing bad about it, just that nobody could control it, and Aizen was the one who wanted to.
Aizen's a suave, cool motherfucker to this day. Like, he's tied to a chair. I don't know how he pees or poops, and he still has, like, Dom energy.
Oh yeah, Aizen is super cool as a villain.
Okay, I noticed that Gen Z Aizen up there died. What's up with that?
I'm just like, okay, wait, did they make this for Aizen, or are there, like, other people we're not seeing?
How many people underneath the 1st Division barrack is tied up Neon Genesis style?
Like, that's, like, clearly a reference to, like, what happened in Neon Genesis? Like, the mom who's, like, a angel or Yvonne. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I think, like, the first, like, Lilith or something.
Like, are we making, like, a religion or a Neon Genesis reference?
So I do wonder when the Quincy's are like, oh, if you enter my defense zone, you will face the wrath of God. Like, okay, so the Quincy's are Catholic.
I thought that was weird too, to be like, this is God's light. And I was like, what?
And then like, oh, you Soul Reapers suck because your weird bankai like desecrates the dead. Like, we don't have a god, motherfucker.
Are Quincy's supposed to be angels?
Yeah, I think so. With the, stupid Nazi forms they have.
They're not Nazis. And how did it take us this long to get the analogy?
I got it from day one with the wings.
With the J guy? Or
Yeah.
you mean with like,
No, J.
Uru?
Not Uru. Not Uru. I didn't get that he was supposed to be Christian Jesus.
You know, it makes a lot of sense now. Because Uru did have like a wing, like a single wing.
Oh, he did?
It was like a diamond-shaped wing. Not like a...
And also, Uru's weird pendant thing kind of reminds me of the cross. Like, he gets his power from the rosemary.
Right, yeah. So, okay. And they did make kind of a lot of light references.
And all the things are in English, Jesus' native language. Alright, is there any other good things you want to talk about this episode before we get into it? Because basically the whole fight was Yamamoto versus Quincy King.
Yeah, I've been trying to listen to how they pronounce it, and it's like 4 syllables, and I'm like, what? Yabe weche or something like that? Alright, so let's talk about what we don't like about this episode. And as I said in the last one, if Bleach screwed this fight up, I'm not looking towards anything else in Bleach. And I think overall they did screw this fight up, and I don't know if it's necessarily the anime's fault or the manga's fault. I remember reading this as a much more action-packed battle, but it wasn't.
They flashed back too much to his past.
Which we got from the beginning already, that they were enemies 1,000 years ago. We did not need a million flashbacks in this episode. I mean, I did think it was kind of cool, the whole switching between the past and present, but overall it was like, there was too much talking. It felt like I was watching Dragon Ball Super.
Like, you can flash back to young Yamamoto. I didn't like how many times during the Bankai South, they're like, oh my god, you're seeing your comrade. And we had to see him walk, and it flashed forward to, like, all those corpses on the ground. It's like, you're the one that killed them, but they're under my Bankai because I burned them.
Way too much talking. And that didn't even make complete sense.
Cannot introduce this many characters. Like, I don't care about Hubert the Quincy. This is the part where I really, really like. The whole episode was cool. It was fire, pun intended. I thought like all the other captains believing in Yamamoto was like well placed.
Oh, I did like that scenery where like they go to the captain and there's the fire column in the background. That was cool.
All that, in my opinion, is dismissed when you find out that the majesty that Yamamoto was fighting was another Quincy. Why yourself?
That was very anticlimactic.
Because one, Kenpachi fought him. Didn't Kenpachi kill him? Two, if Kenpachi didn't kill him, he should be at least significantly weak. So like, he shouldn't have been full power. Three, you're telling me they had an ace in their hole to have a guy who could be just as strong or just like a little bit weaker than the Quincy King, where he could go toe to toe with Yamamoto for the most part and do the super strong attack defense thing that only the strong Quincy can do, and like have the blade and everything. And five, it makes Yamamoto look like an idiot for being like, haha, you never had a chance against me. You was fighting against my lackey. Now I'm gonna steal your bankai, easy peasy lemon squeezy, because fuck you. And now you're gonna tell me that Ichigo's gonna come in and be like, yes, it's me, your savior. I'm going to defeat Yamamoto's fucking bankai.
I mean, it was clear that Yamamoto wasn't gonna win because then this would be a 6-episode series. But yeah, I wish Yamamoto just lost because him talking to Aizen didn't pay off either, you know? Like, he could have just been there and just defeated Yamamoto like fair, square, you know, one-on-one.
I wish they did the anime cliche of Yamamoto, he weakens the Quincy King, but he doesn't defeat the Quincy King, he just dies on the spot. So that it makes more sense when Ichigo comes and finishes the job. Instead of it being like, no, this is the Quincy King, he's stronger than all the Soul Reapers combined.
To be fair, I don't think Ichigo defeats him at this point. I'm pretty sure they retreat by...
But you know he's gonna defeat him at one point. And you're like, actually, Annie. Also, Kenpachi's dead. They left him on the ground and the whole place went up to flames.
Hey, we also thought, oh well, I guess we thought Y was dead.
Kenpachi, do your fucking job. Like, you carried his corpse there for what? Maybe that Kenpachi was Y the whole time.
Look, for me personally, the plot for Bleach is crap after Soul Society. So I'm not expecting much plot-wise. I just wanted a better action-packed animation for this fight. Like I said, incredibly highly anticipated. Yamamoto's bankai is probably the best bankai bankai, and it's understandably why they gave him the best bankai. But it was such a slow pace after a while, and it was just very like, I want the action that I got in the East. I never got that again with West, South, and North. They were like aesthetically pleasing scenes, right?
Yeah.
Like when Yamamoto realizes that now his bankai is stolen and it's gonna be used against him, like that dead-eyed scene, like that's really nice. But I thought West, South, and North needed much more improvement in their animations.
What do you want them to do? They got the CGI skeletons.
Which was fine, but I wanted things to keep moving.
Yeah, because when he's like, I melt everything I touch, so I'm gonna walk slowly towards you before I start Iron Manning this shit.
Right? Like, and like his whole body was engulfed in flames, and they were like, oh, you wouldn't be able to see flames this hot, but it must be his spiritual powers.
Yes, we've seen KNY. We know how this works.
So to me, it's like, I want more animation. I want that budget to be there. Like the rest of the show is gonna probably be a lot of talking anyways.
I don't know, it's hard because as much as it looked like it was movie quality, this is still an anime budget, right? And like, you had to end the episode with Yamamoto dying.
That's another thing. I personally do not like one episode battles.
Oh.
Especially if they're supposed to be like an important one like this. Like, I don't know if they cut shit out from the manga, but I just feel like then it's just very rushed. And I don't know if this battle is supposed to play a significant battle, because a one episode battle to me just is like a battle between subordinates.
You want them to Dragon Ball this shit.
You know, kind of.
5 episodes is just...
Because I want it to like evolve and I want it to be great, but Bleach doesn't always have the best writings. Because I feel like a lot of times, especially when there was the Ichigo versus Aizen fight, it was a lot of like, I have the upper hand. No, actually, I have the upper hand. Like, it never felt equal. It felt like someone had to dominate the other, which in one aspect is kind of cool, but in another, it's like, cheapens the battle.
Yeah, like, you know, if you had like a Kenpachi fight against Ichigo, it's like 2 guys going all out. But like, if you have a psychological mental battle where like, let's just say Ichigo and Aizen, one of them has to look bad in the end because they got outsmarted.
So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I wanted more from the animation team. I don't know why you made the Jay Stern Rita have an amazing fight.
Yeah, like that one, I think that's what you wanted. 'Cause that took like 3 episodes, even though it was like intermittent.
So, you know, I mean, look, I don't mind. It had to be all in one battle. I guess it only takes an episode, but then, you know, wow me with the episode. You're gonna do that.
I don't get why the blue flames. Like, does the Quincy guy have the powers of blue flame without just aesthetic?
I think it's aesthetic. I think it's supposed to like contract the red flames, and I think it's just basically Reishi versus Reishi.
Oh wait, I forgot. Doesn't Quincy have that blue flame when they was in the Arankar's homeland where like it stole Reishi or energy for them?
Maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe the blue flames do play a part. Also, I don't get Uru just being on the bridge being like, alright, there was 2 Quincy exterminations.
Which also cheapens the history of Quincy's.
I am so sick of the Quincy extermination. Like, ooh, I guess us and Soul Reapers can never get along. Hey, you stop fucking up the life cycle, you guys can get along. Like, you really couldn't, like, you could figure out all these Jesus analogies, but you couldn't figure out how to not fuck up the soul system.
That's true. There should be a reason why Quincy's are willing to destroy all hollows, knowing that it could destroy everything. Like, there's gotta be a benefit.
Like, the Quincy King, he's like, I just want peace, right? Maybe he's just trying to destroy the world because if there's no world, there's no strife.
I think he has a complicated past. I forget what it is, though.
When I was 5, I was born without a face.
I would also like to know why 1,000 years ago Yamamoto didn't kill the Majesty.
Went sleepy instead.
Maybe I forgot.
Hey, maybe he's just too powerful, you know? But like, same reason why they can't kill Aizen.
No bullshit. Somebody should have been watching over the Majesty. Because I feel like if 900 years ago he got something back, you would have been like, hold on, something's going wrong.
I just think we shouldn't have put the Squad 1 barracks full of the geriatrics.
Oh my god.
Put Aizen in the back.
Squad 1 is not for the retirement home.
Alright, so episode 7, Born in the Dark. Where'd you get this episode title?
I don't know. The wiki just has them.
Maybe it's like the actual next chapter or something.
No.
You see, Batman, you visited the dark. I was born in the dark. That's Bane.
I didn't like those movies. The Dark Knight.
Okay, bye everyone.